Hello everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to a new language learning video. Title says it all, I am learning Spanish. So if you've been following my videos for a while, you do know that I speak German because that's my native language, I speak English because I live here, and I speak a little bit of French thanks to Rosetta Stone. I've made 2 videos with Rosetta Stone already where I went to Paris after I learned French, and they were super fun and they were adventures, but now they have challenged me to learn a new language, that is Spanish. So I thought I'll take you along on a ride. We're going to do a Q&A about language learning, Spanish learning, everything like that today. And obviously this is part 1 because in part 2 I am going to travel to Spain to test my Spanish language learning skills. Right now I'm very basic. On that note, obviously you can still use my code SANDY50 on the Rosetta Stone website to get 50% of any language course. So if you feel inspired by this video, after this video, or for learning languages in general, this is your chance. So let's get to the questions. Question number 1 comes from a lady called Noelle KLTZK, and she says, do you have some tips for learning English? Yes, I do, Noelle. I've actually made an entire video on how to learn English or improve your English. Link is in the cards right now. But in general, I would say that watching movies, talking to English people, and reading books in English helps. Then we've got a question here by Andre Alvede, and he says, do you feel more natural speaking English than German? You know what, Andre? Sometimes I do. If I haven't spoken German for a long time, it's really odd to me. So sometimes I bump into German people and they're like, oh, you're German as well. And then it feels really rehearsed and forced. But the longer I speak German, the obviously less awkward I feel because it's my mother tongue. And my housemate is German, so I speak German to her most days. Then we've got a question by Henriette K. Jonoy, and she says, how do you keep yourself motivated? Henriette, it's hard, and I'm always a little bit worried, but in the end, learning a new language opens so many doors to you that maybe you aren't aware of at the beginning, but you will, you know, learn so much about new cultures and new people, and you'll feel so motivated and so proud of what you've achieved. So just imagine going to a new country and not feeling awkward because you have to speak English, and just asking them in their own language. That feels amazing, and that's my motivation. Then we've got George here, George Sedano. Hi George, if you're watching, thanks very much for commenting. He said, yo hablo español, so whatever you need in Spanish, I will help gladly. Thank you very much, George. I might need your help, but I think yo hablo español means I speak Spanish, so that's good. I understood that, and thank you very much for sharing. Then we've got Levy Isako, and she says, how long does it usually take to learn a language? Now that's quite a hard question to answer. I think you can learn the basics maybe in 2 to 3 months to get around okay, which is what I'm attempting with Spanish. But if you want to fully understand and immerse yourself in a language, I think it can maybe take years. But you don't need that. Basics are fine to get around, trust me. Then we've got a very important question here by Danny Dawn, and she says, how did you manage situations at the beginning when your English wasn't as good? I remember a situation the first day I arrived in the UK where I sat in the car with my au pair host family, and for some reason I was trying to explain the word plaster. Don't ask me why, but I remember explaining it, but I couldn't remember the vocabulary. So I was saying, when you have a wound and you put something on top of it, and they were just like, oh my god, it sounds gross and horrible, what are you saying? So in the end I just said, sorry, I can't remember the word, my English isn't as good right now. Mon français n'est pas très bien maintenant. Yo hablo español, no hablo español, something like that. So you just have to be open and say, sorry, my language isn't as good just yet. Trust me, because you're trying, everyone will be cool and understand. Then we've got Eddie Bravo, and he says, I'm learning German, do you have any advice? Eddie, I don't, because German is my mother tongue, but people tell me German is really hard to learn. So big up for you trying to learn German, and don't give up. Then we've got Nicky Gibbons. Hi Nick, how are you doing? Thank you very much for commenting. And he says, hi Sandy, how old were you when you started to learn a language in school? I think I was maybe about 10 or 12. You learn English quite early in school, and you learn things like, open the window, this is the chalkboard, give me the chalk, I want to eat lunch and things like that. But yeah, quite young, like 10. Then we've got Mark Kafka-esque, and he says, do you feel your German is getting less good? I don't think so. Sometimes when I go home and I meet my German friends, they say, you speak German with an English accent. I don't think that's true, but like I said before, if there's a very long period of time where I don't speak German, sometimes I feel I struggle a tiny bit, but in general, hopefully not. Then we've got Matt Birch 24. Hi Matt, and he says, how did you find learning French and Spanish as a native German? I really struggled. I found it quite easy, to be honest. I have to say, I mean, easy is a good word, but I didn't really struggle that much. But then trust me, Matt, I have a language brain and not a numbers brain. So apparently people just have one or the other. Comment below actually which one you have. Numbers isn't quite mine. Alright guys, so next I want to move on to some of your comments, because I asked in my Instagram as well, do you think I can do it, learn Spanish? And some of you have answered in Spanish, which is great. So Compartiendo mi mundo says, sí claro que puedes a por ello. I don't 100% know what that means, but I think it means yes, of course you can do it, and something else that I don't understand. If you understand, comment below. Then we've got Flo Louis 1, and he says mucha suerte with a thumbs up, so hopefully maybe that means good luck. Oh, this is a very difficult one here. We've got underscore Smolop, and he says va a ser un camino difícil lleno de paciencia y perseverancia. Whew. I mean, maybe that sounded great, I don't know what I said, but difícil probably means difficult. If you understood what he said, comment below. I love that we're this international community, this is amazing. So in general, I hope this video inspired you. I am slightly terrified, but as usual, super excited at the same time. Like I said, I'm going to use the Rosetta Stone software as I did with my French, and hopefully I will learn the basics of Spanish. I'm not going to be fluent, but hopefully I can capture a moment in a restaurant or in a clothes shop where I will use my Spanish skills. Please follow my Instagram so you can see the entire I guess journey of my Spanish. At the end of September I'm gonna travel to Palma in Mallorca to try my skills. I know there's a lot of German people living there, so I'm hoping to get a proper Spanish restaurant. If you have any, I guess, tips for going to Palma to a really nice Spanish restaurant, please let me know in the comments below. And other than that, let's keep learning languages. Let's, keep learning about different cultures, and let's just, do that and, travel the world. And I think that is it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and we'll see each other again in a few weeks' time once I've been to Palma. Goodbye.